Hello, and thank you for joining us here in Barcelona for MWC 2026, where we are going to discuss the future of TMT industries in the era of AI with Anil Ganjoo. Anil is Chief Growth Officer for TMT Industries and Technology at HCLTech. Anil, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure to be with you.
And congratulations on this wonderful booth here at MWC. I also caught your very impressive advertisings at the airport on the way here.
Lovely.
So I'm very excited to hear more from you on the next era of TMT as AI is developing fast. So first of all, tell us about what you understand or mean by the next era for TMT, how AI is affecting it, and what you believe are the shifts that will most matter to telco leaders going forward, let's say in the next 3 to 5 years.
Sure. So now what we mean by the new era for TMT is, I think with not just AI, but 5G, edge, data, everything we believe is being transformed. So it's highly disruptive, and all the forces coming together is really making every company in this industry rethink, not just renovate, but rebuild their organization. It's that disruptive. And really what we mean is everything that was being assumed or taken for granted no longer may be true, but then everything that was not possible or thought to be way behind or too many years ahead is today possible. And that is what we believe is the new era for TMT, endless possibilities and opportunities for every organization. But what it means is completely rethinking and thereby rebuilding their organizations, business models, customers, and the way they need to engage with them.
So there's a whole new world of opportunities here. How are advances in connectivity, cloud, AI, semiconductors converging to reshape the telecom value chain as well as TMT industries?
The convergence was always being talked about, but there is no better time than now where convergence, we're actually seeing it happen. In fact, all of us carry a phone in our pockets 24/7 these days. That's a great example of convergence of all technologies, one of them being silicon. So the silicon, customized silicon taking place, connectivity of 5G and more, data as something that's available for you throughout, and a platform-based approach for everything where anything is not searchable, it's also being recommended to you. All of these forces and finally AI coming together, converging for a consumer level individual is what we are already seeing taking place. Now take it at an enterprise level. For an enterprise organization, leveraging all these things from customized silicon and AI at a silicon level all the way to infrastructure, which is becoming an intelligent infrastructure, connectivity wherein everything is connected all the way at an edge level so that you can have deep personalization wherever you are, whenever, and then finally AI is running throughout the whole backbone. This is what is making large enterprises look at convergence to really leverage new business models and new ways to engage to create new business opportunities for them across the full stack, from data, silicon, to platforms, infrastructure, and all the way to applications at a consumer and enterprise level.
So Anil, based on your experience, what are the challenges that TMT organizations are facing to enable AI across their full organizations?
That's a great question, because AI, when it started, was being seen just as a bolt-on technology to existing organizations. Now, very soon it's been realized that that's not how you need to be implementing AI. You need to have it across the whole fabric, the backbone of the organization. You know, organizations that are now building in the complete fabric of the organization AI, which is agentic AI, not just for basically building products, but also across the operations. For a telco, it is across the network to really translate it into network operations, autonomous network operations, which are self-healing which are network programmed and sliced to be monetized, data across available of these networks to really drive hyper personalization. For a media company, it is not just digitization of content, but also making it easily searchable, highly personalized, so that you are now focusing on customer engagement. How do you reduce the churn, and how do you monetize by upselling and cross-selling based on the consumer's requirement? These are the ways new technologies are basically ensuring that the organizations will implement it. So it means significant change management right at the highest level of management, as well as talent management change, because requires completely new talent, new thinking, and highly innovative way across the whole fabric of the organization. That's what needs to be implemented, AI from start all the way to the end, and not just as a bolt-on, but an integral part of the DNA of the organization.
That's a very important point indeed. It's not just about architecture and operations, but that culture change and change management indeed. Thank you very much for that. So when it comes to implementing AI beyond legacy platforms, how should telecom and technology leaders think maybe differently about talent, as you've mentioned, and change management in order to keep pace with all this change happening around us?
Yeah, so I think the modern organizations are looking at these technologies available as something which needs to be leveraged for completely rethinking the business rather than just implementing it in a patchwork model, so that just to make it a little bit more efficient. We've seen that wherever AI has been implemented in a manner which is only incremental, it is having very different results rather than helping in rethinking the whole business, focusing on what their end customers are looking for, what will make them engage with them better, what will help them keep them better, what will improve the customer experience, or just include onboarding customers smoothly. Let's take product launches. Typical product launches, new product launches for a telco can go all the way sometimes to 6 months to even 9 months. Using newer technologies and modern technologies, you can now launch products in few days. In fact, when you come up with rethinking of new technologies-based products, platforms, and offerings, you can actually launch things in few hours. And that is how you are keeping pace with market needs as well as market segmentations. You want to target Gen Z. They're not going to be making phone calls to call centers, or maybe not even going to web mobile for ordering products or services. You can catch them at Instagram, for example, or social media platforms. That's how you target, and that's possible on very short cycle of products rollout. Thereby, you need to have real-time marketing, you need to have real-time billing systems, you need to have data which is being providing you access. That's what you need to be implementing in organizations of today for a better tomorrow.
So you really need to be adaptable and forward-thinking here. You need to use the right platforms in order to reach out to the right customers here.
Yep.
Looking ahead, maybe to wrap up, what bold moves or mindset shifts will be important for TMT companies that are looking to survive in this era of great change, and what will make a difference compared to those who will not survive, or at least will struggle?
Sure. I think I'll take one by one. If you think about a telco company, I think the moment a telco company starts thinking of themselves really as a tech company, it's a big change. They're not just a connectivity company. They're an intelligence company. They're not somebody who's just providing a pipe. They are actually providing a consumer experience which is always available and providing access to whatever they want, wherever they want. So it's a very product-centric mindset. It's a very tech-centric mindset. And whatever legacy and tech debt that exists, now you have technologies which can completely bypass things and make them essentially translate significant cost reductions, having newer technologies as a part of the fabric of the organization, thinking highly innovatively, and building skills where everyone can basically easily innovate, bring things to market much faster in real time. And so everything is all about customer experience, customer engagement, deep personalization, which is really what a media company also is looking at doing. Again, thinking of it themselves as a more of a tech company rather than an erstwhile historic media company. So you're monetizing that you have, that is your asset for a customer's experience, and thereby something that will have them stay with you for life. That's a new modern TMT company.
Well, thank you very much, Anil. Some great pointers and insights here for TMT Industries wishing to succeed in the era of AI. Many thanks to you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you.